I took a chance using chaos control. Chaos control. Chaos control. Chaos control.
God is not here.
Chaos control. Chaos control. Chaos control.
Coming to you live from Camp Crystal Lake. I'm your host, Travis Wormwood. Welcome to Pumpkin Hill Radio.
Yeah. No, what was I pulling up? Was it? Yeah. Tartarus, the Damned of the Earth. What's up, everybody? We're back for some amount of content. Talking about what we're talking about our study. We're talking about future study sessions. I am going off this book right here. I think I showed you.
Yeah.
I listened to the whole thing like a couple years ago. Mythos by Stephen Fry. It's called The Greek Myths Explained.
Stephen Fry, I've definitely heard of him.
This guy rocks. He's a good. He's a good. Find the actual.
I went into this.
chapters.
This is it's uploaded by Fadi Akil. This is the page on YouTube I'm looking at.
I feel just like some good content. This guy, let me see the chapter.
Just like this is like a whole series, and I'm into it.
Like, look, these are the chapters in this book, basically. Like, it starts with like, guys, it's like that's all labeled out. They're all like, less than 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's cut up.
And it's cut up.
Yeah, I like this because like it's just like the great Greek myths, and then you like literally you start with like the number one is like Zeus and the conquest of power, which is like kind of like the creation story and how Zeus comes to be. And then like Zeus and love, then like Prometheus, then I got Hades, and these are all like 25.
Can you send those links to me, or can you send the link to that channel to me, or put it in the shared document or something?
I'll send you. I'll send this to you. But it's just like I don't know. It's really thorough stuff. And obviously, there's like so much to all of it, which is cool. Cause like from what you have too, because there's parts of it that
in comparison.
There's parts that you're getting that I'm not getting because you can't fit all this shit in just like a quick little thing.
In any way,
like it's literally like people study each of these gods for like years. You know?
Can take your whole You can.
This could be a lot of like, and I'm like really passively getting into this, but these videos are really nice because it just
try to absorb it at all times.
It just and it like shows it like comes with like really nice artwork. Shows you like pictures of statues.
Yeah, they're all like 25 minutes long.
It's really easy to get down.
This is Fadi Akil, Fadi space Akil on YouTube.
Shouts out him. Like all these videos have like some of the highest ones are like almost like 20,000.
Yeah.
Zeus and the Conquest of Power is 49,000, but like everything else is like under 10,000 views on it.
Damn, that means it's gold.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite kind of shit.
All 2 years ago too. That's
it's
like
it's
a full series. It's been done.
But this page is cool. I'm getting into it. I'm sure there's more things on the same stuff, but I just like the artwork that it shows. It like keeps me engaged because I'm like literally I just want to watch it because like it's like I don't know, the artwork's nice. You forget about how fucking sick the Greek gods' artworks were and like how like good art those motherfuckers.
I've had
were.
like thoughts about those statues. Like that's weird, right? Like I know people still make them to this day, but I guess the fact that they've lasted this long, it's stone. So what are you gonna say? But that like there's something to that, right? It's these like I guess I'm thinking of like a figure of like a woman with like a crazy flowing like dress, but like pressed against her tits.
No, you can like see like people's like fingers like pressing into the skin.
Like I don't understand this.
Well, there's theories that it's like people it's like they got like turned to stone.
They get Medusa.
Yeah, kind of shit like that.
That's how I was looking at the eclipse the other day for a while. You catch it in your phone backwards.
A little bit, yeah.
You zoom in.
It was cool. I don't know if you knew this, but it's not like we can really do it again anytime soon. But cause I don't know when the next like eclipse like that's gonna be. But you know how like the shadow of leaves gets a little weird. You like get the crescents in it.
Yeah, I saw different people take.
Your like hand shadow doesn't have that, but if you put your hand under like the tree leaves. It like makes your hand all like.
Then it does that.
Dude, it gets all weird. Yeah,
it's weird.
It was super
like the
cool.
vibration from the tree or some shit.
Yeah, it is like the way the leaf shadows like mix in with your hand. It just like looks like it's like I don't know, chopping up, getting all staticky, or like.
I was thinking maybe I was getting ads for like that Ark encounter thing, and so much because of the weird eclipse
probably dude.
talk.
Dude, I when I was at work.
I was wondering why I was getting these ads.
Yeah. No, that shit was like really popping up before that. It was like ramping up. It was crazy. Cause like even at like I was at work and I like took a little break. I like walked outside, just kind of walking in the alley, and there's like some people coming out of the Panda Express, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, it's the rapture." It's like the eclipse is starting the rapture.
Yeah.
Rapture,
like,
dude.
Got it.
It was just like in like the air like that. Like just some like stoners like just like joking about it kind of.
It's tough. I know
like how I have been, but
I think like Q put out a post. They were like,
no, it's like something like that. There's just some like weird like I don't know. There's just like enough people and things go viral where it just like
it just rolls out.
You get one video.
I mean, even like
connecting some dots and saying it's the rapture, and all of a sudden like. You got everyone schizoed on some shit, you know? Like, what is it? I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I feel like it's just a thing, too, with eclipses. They're, like, so rare, and, like, it's such a, like, creepy event. It's just so weird of a thing that happens.
Yeah.
That, like...
That's like a thing with
forever, people are like, well, this is the end
cultures,
of time.
This is...
You, like, almost feel like you need to sacrifice something, or, like, I don't know. I had a pretty big urge to sacrifice some stuff.
Yeah, no,
it's like Sam and Goldie made they dyed eggs for Easter. That was a while ago now. So I'm just putting my name on that sacrifice too.
Yeah,
keep the household sacrifice.
Keep the household there. Let's put on some chill music. I was digging this song.
Nice. That's a good song.
This is Men I Trust, Show Me How. I don't know how it's gonna come through, but at the end of I think the episode coming up. The last episode, I guess. Hey, me and Dawson finally got 1 week out, so we have an episode in the bank, so we can actually record and feel comfortable. Not coming up to the minute.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be a week off, but we're still live.
We're gonna take a week off if we need to. But...
Another thing when I played that, yeah, exactly. Let's have something banked. And also, I have a couple of those other things I can always post on the free feed if we need to take a second. But no, I got off track now. I don't know. What was I talking about?
Yeah, you finally got something. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty vague.
Fuck. I don't know. Man, I'm like a goldfish.
Dude, fucking. The Acer and Veneer War.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, this is just the link that was on the Titanomachy CLSO. I think that it's showing me. Okay, so the Titanomachy, this 10-year battle between different titans and gods. It's linked. This is linking me to a bunch of other battles throughout religious histories. So War in Heaven is one. The Deva in Hinduism. Asuras, even the Acer and Veneer War. That's I believe Norse. So that's fucking okay. And the other. So before I forget though, the Titanomachy, I believe is preceded by the Gigantomachy. And there's a Theomachy. I don't know which is which or where it goes, but they're all part of the same. They're in the same theater of God War.
Yep.
So the Acer and Veneer War, this is a Norse myth. Fucking conflict between. So the Acer and the Veneer are. It's basically taken in like Skyrim.
Yeah.
You get the Daedric and the Aedra.
Yeah.
I think that they're not specifically good and evil gods, but it looks like in this one it is a battle between this stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's just battling forces, you know. Yeah, that's cool.
This picture of Odin here. I wish it was better. It's smaller.
That's a cool ass picture.
It's Odin, just an old man chilling. And the next one, War in Heaven. So this is, I guess, just the Christian cosmology.
Yeah.
I guess because you can't call it a myth yet, so you can't call it like a. Because what do they call it here? Because they say. Norse mythology. You wouldn't say you can't type Christian mythology yet.
Which is like
so you call it bogus, Christian cosmology. I'm gonna start saying Norse cosmology. I guess I'm just gonna say cosmology instead of mythology.
Yeah, because I think that's that Christianification
of everything.
Yeah. Of like this is cosmology. All that this is the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, but like, they're all pretty valid still.
Well, and that's the thing that I was looking at more with the Norse stuff is almost all of the old, I believe all the old poems were translated in like the 16 or 1700s by Same as like Stevie Sweverson. That's not his name, but it's very clear. It's like something kind of. It sounds kind of goofy. Yeah, but he's this dude that translated them all. But he was a Christian. So he translated all these things.
Way, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's like the same with like I'm sure with like the Greek shit too, and all of it. Like.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're all these things. That's why
the series is called like the Great Myths, and it's like, well, I don't know. It's just like
they immediately Christians got a hold of it, and immediately. That's why some of the stories when you're reading it, at least in the North stuff like that, North, I can't even fucking differentiate it. When you're digging into that though, like especially Loki becomes like a straight up devil figure. Yeah, like he becomes this like figure of evil when he's not, and it's some of the stories are representing him like that, and you have to go back into the lore and actually different like thesis papers on it and like how that's not the case. Like some of them where he's just presented as pure evil. It's like, well, that's not the case. These are. And there's like
different motives, different driving factors.
The etymology of like just single words. Almost every single word in each of these Norse myths, these like 5 that we have. Yeah. Every single word in those has been like picked apart and like just like what does this mean in this context? Yeah. Just trying, especially with God's names and stuff, trying to figure out where all these came from.
Yeah. Which is interesting too. I mean, with like the Greek gods and stuff, it's like you start looking at all these god names, and it's just like what things are called.
Exactly. Well, that's what we were saying the other time. It's like they're all called this, but they're not real. Yeah. But I guess it's just that's how you grow a word is through like thousands of years and repetition. But it's weird when they say like when Tartarus and like this like ancient like. Beneath the earth area is described, and then it's not real, but every other word that we have for a Greek word is sort of real, or like like an emotion, some sort of either concrete thing or some sort of metaphysical, but like a true life thing.
Like what is it? Psyche is a.
They're all they're literally
Apollo.
All of them are. We'll do a little. Like I know, and that's fun when you look at like who birthed them, and they have like a lot when you were saying with Prometheus and his brother, how it's. Foresight and hindsight. A lot of them when they're birthed in twins or trios, they always have like they're always like a lot of the gods will have different aspects of the same main thing. Or it's like the super ego, and they're all named after things. Like that's what it is. Yeah, that's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, man. It's
let's dig into.
It's just interesting how like still like that those are myths and like everything's named after them still. You know what I mean? It's like maybe it's like there's still just kind of like a. Like, we're secretly, not even secretly, just, like, subconsciously still fucking worshiping these gods, you know? Like, or not even worshiping, but, like, you know, acknowledging them. Even like, they still exist.
Even basically the Christians are, because they choose one person to be their Jesus, they choose one person to be their God. It's the same thing, like, Zeus is just a different Yahweh.
No, exactly. Like
Odin's just a different Yahweh. I Googled, I'm on the wiki for Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, because... I recall being on this last time and being able to see some of the other, that's not what it is, some of the other weapons that, maybe I can't find it now. I just know that there's, from each culture, there's like a crazy weapon. So there's like Thor's hammer, and then there's this thing in Hinduism that's this, it's like a it's like a pot full of wind, like a bag full of wind that is like, you basically can like fly around with it or like blast it at people. Yeah, that's like very ancient aliens-y. Some of those... all that kind of fucking. I don't know how can I find this? It's like ancient myth weapons. Soundtrack now. I've been looking up mall lo-fi. It brings me to a couple of good things. This one should be fine. It looks free of ads, but some of them it's like anything that I like is just everybody else is also getting into it, obviously. So ads just come about. They're gonna find you. Here we go. List of magical weapons on Wiki. No, I already said it. Yeah, trident. That's something. Badass. But Excalibur. Excalibur. Alexander the Great. You know, I actually because I'm a story crafter as well. I write a lot of like sometimes whatever. I write a lot of like plots about stuff more than anything nowadays. Yeah. But I kind of have this whole thing where like. I like gathered up all these different weapons, and I was just saying that the different powers they would have and how that would translate to somebody else like currently carrying. I think it actually seemed a lot like the anime Tokyo Ghoul with like the way that they summed up their things after I read through it. But at the time, I thought it was pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. Excalibur's too.
I'll pull some of these out.
Cool.
I'll pull some of these things out. Let's look at these 3. Sharur from. It's means smasher of thousands. It's a weapon and symbol of the god Ninurta. And, okay, this is a Sumerian. So that's the fucking picture of Tiamat right there. That's Tiamat. That's one example of what she looks like. This is the enchanted talking mace.
Yeah. Okay.
It's subject to possible precursor objects such as like Arthurian. Yeah, like they're all just. Like, there's just a magical weapon in every myth, and it's no matter what it is, it all kind of traces back to something like the Sharur. Smasher of thousands. God, that's a cool Sumerian word.
Sick.
And there's another one, the Vajra. This means thunderbolt.
Oh,
so, yeah, this is like a Zeus
thing.
thing.
That's like Zeus.
It's a legendary and ritualistic weapon symbolizing the properties of a diamond, indestructible,
Thunderbolt is
and a thunderbolt. Too. It's an indestructible and irresistible force. Yeah, thunderbolt. It's
kind of like it's similar to like that could be like Thor's hammer too.
It's this thing. It's a club with a spherical ribbed head. Ooh,
the thunderbolt is interesting too. Not lightning bolt, thunder. What a bolt of thunder.
Hell?
And then maybe that's like those like sound weapons where it like shoots a frequency at
thunderbolt.
You. Dude, that's thunderbolts, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Just blasting people with this.
I'm just trying to
from an ancient thing.
Yeah, trying to see it like I don't know
the alien side of things.
Make something nice. There we go.
Just Hindu mythology comes up with the swastika. There we are.
That's a legit one though.
And then here's one more thing I pulled up the Dernwin. That's the sword of Rhetoric Hull.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I don't know what that is besides that. Oh, it's a. It's a Welsh, something from the Welsh triads. What is this thing? Maybe it's not as cool.
Would blaze with fire.
Oh, it's a fire sword. Okay. Look at all this stuff.
Nice.
The Horn of Bran Galad.
I think I've heard of that one.
Is this... What is this? What mythology is this from? I don't know.
Huh.
I literally don't know where it's from. I'm trying to figure out though because is it? It's reminding me of something from the Dark Tower series, a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's a horn that comes up in there, and then there's a place called Gilead, and it's also that's like a lot of Arthurian stuff too. It pulls a lot from that. Yeah. And fucking Dark Tower shit. It's never like talked about in the series. It's talked about in the comics, in the Dark Tower comics. There's one that his guns that the gunslinger uses are the Excalibur blade melted down.
Yeah,
into his sandalwood grip pisties.
That's fucking.
It's fucking big iron.
Really sick.
Yeah, because he's like, he's of the line of Arthur Eld.
Yeah,
all the way down to this like end of the ancient things. And that's Stephen King has his own mythology. He has his own like whole pantheon sitting up there.
Ties a lot of things in together.
Yeah, fuck. There's some cool fucking weapons.
Yeah, that is cool.
Chinese folklore. Yeah, the Ruyi Jingu Bang. That's a magic staff wielded by the Monkey King. So basically like the Goku guy.
Yeah.
From Journey to the West. I don't know what it does. I guess it's just a staff. Maybe it's the same staff that Goku has. Yeah. It's probably the one that grows and shit.
Arrow of Brahma.
The Astra are divine celestial weapons with devastating impacts, which could be invoked by reciting mantras and forming hand signs. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's so sick.
What the hell
so,
is
like,
it?
Naruto?
It's a Naruto thing. Yeah, you're doing a... Yeah. It's from Hindu mythology, presided over by a specific deity, and imbued with spiritual and occult powers that causes its effects. The term can be subsequently denote any weapon which was used by releasing releasing it from one's hand, such as an arrow. Oh, okay. So you can also say it's like an arrow, not just like a powerful weapon, not like a sonic blast.
So you like,
but
shoot stuff out your hands.
Astra in Hindu epics.
Damn.
Oh,
dude.
that's like the Brahma.
Brahma, dude. Brahma's sick.
It's the deity. The Astra that he has is called the Brahmastra. It's one of the most destructive, powerful, and irresistible weapons mentioned in Hinduism. Only a few of the gods even possess the knowledge to invoke this weapon. So this is like straight up World of Warcraft stuff. But in the same way that I believe Christians have it. I love it all.
That's magic.
I also believe in World of Warcraft stuff. So
no, dude, yeah.
I
believe in Skyrim shit
stuff.
too.
Yeah, this is just
it's all real shit, dude.
It's
all describing the same thing.
It's a fiery weapon that creates a fierce fireball.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's so sick.
And countless horrendous thunder flashes. So it's just like a UFO. It's like an ancient alien blast, just like shooting. It's just like flashes in the entire sky and burning entire cities. You can tell,
maybe like a nuke.
This is like a nuke. Yeah, a blaze of terrible fire and countless horrendous thunder flashes. You think that sounds like a nuclear explosion? Kinda. When discharged, all nature, including trees, oceans, and animals, tremble. The sky surrounds with flames. Glaciers melt, and mountains shatter with copious noises all around.
Or maybe it's like a meteor, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's a god strike. Yeah, it's a goddamn...
Fucking, I don't know. Maybe it's just something we don't even know, man. It's God strike.
It's a god strike. It's a god strike,
dude.
Fuck.
Smite,
It's a total smiting, yeah.
That's what smiting is right there. Fuck. Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
I could read about weapons all day.
This is read about the weapons the gods are wielding against.
Let's take a step out for our godly pedestal, though. And I was wondering, I also, just like I do on some, what the thing I'm thinking about right in the morning, I'll kind of write down. I'm trying to find a couple of these.
Let's get into it.
How does a shark smell? I guess it's like...
Yeah, think about that.
The idea of water getting up your nose, is that what a fish breathing air feels like? Or like...
I think it's a little different. I think a fish breathing air is how
the smelling,
kind of us trying to be in space.
Is the smelling apparatus Is the smelling apparatus of like a shark then different than how our sense works?
Because they say a shark, like a great white, can smell a drop of blood
like a mile away.
But like, okay,
in a tornado,
I don't think smell is necessarily the right like word for it.
Yeah,
I think it's just they can.
They say they have a sixth sense, which is, I think, what is it like? It's not like. What the hell is that?
Well, they have like a something that's like magnetic, like it.
It's like
senses like magnetic fields and stuff. Or like maybe that's birds that have that, and that's how they like know how to migrate. Is they have this like.
That's a magnet. That's a magnet, right? And that's why people that's why fucking with Earth magnetism would like fuck all that up.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Because, like...
Okay, there's a little list I found. Just says hearing, vision, smell, touch, taste, and vestibular.
Which is...
It's a sensory system that creates a sense of balance. Oh, sure. Okay. It's that thing in, like, your inner ear. The cochlea, auditory system.
So they know, like, what's surface, what's down.
It constitutes the labyrinth of the inner ear in most mammals. Also, that's a cool way to describe what the inner ear is. It isn't a labyrinth. And you're telling me I could somehow get a Q-tip stuck in there? You think I would just shove it in one way? It's going to go all the way through the labyrinth? Nah, I'm good.
Nah, I think you got to really fuck up to get Q-tips.
You know what I do? What I definitely make sure to do when I'm brushing my teeth and when I use Q-tips is to not move around at all.
Yeah.
I remember seeing one picture of the back of someone's mouth who tripped or something with a toothbrush in their mouth and it jammed in the back of their fucking face and there's just a big hole in the back of their mouth. I think they like lived, but it was fucking freaky.
It's not a good spot. That's not
good. Same with the ear thing. I would hate. I
usually stare in my eyes while I do.
What I have
in the mirror.
Yeah,
I look into my own eyes because I just lock in then.
My real fear is me using it like an ear thing, and then somebody opening a door, and then that door somehow hitting my hand and like jamming it in. That's like how I could most likely see it, and it's not likely.
No, but there's a lot of like nightmare situations, you know. I don't want that stuck. I don't want. That's gonna. They're so bad, dude. Oh, you'd be deaf in that ear, pretty much.
Here, I just kind of going all over the place. I just looked up extra senses.
Dude, okay.
It says
like,
10 extra human
ESP,
senses you didn't know you had. Oh, we didn't
ESP
know we had.
is absolutely a real thing, dude.
Yep.
There's more evidence for it than this.
Is this, would you consider like, not like a hive mind, but do you think there's like a human intelligence that spans like...
I think...
Is that more community driven or is that global?
I don't
or
know. I think there's like a... like that, like, I don't know. I feel like it gets thrown a lot about like that. It's like a consciousness, you know? Like, there's like it's like a genetic code thing. There's like a genetic knowledge that your like genes have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. There's like something to that where like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like, maybe even something we like can't like physically like identify. Might just be like that. It's like that thing that's like, oh, it's like the human like spirit or soul. But there's like something that like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm getting into anymore. There's
I think you're parsing the idea that perhaps like where like the human like that. I think either the Venn diagram, the circular diagrams, like wherever that middle part is of like human consciousness physically and the soul or whatever that would be. I think wherever that meets. Wherever like the middle point of that, or whatever like the nerves or whatever it is, like those two parts of your thing meet, with that spiritual side and the physical side. I think that is like there must be a sense within that range. Like I think that's that obviously has to be where
that's like the feeling of like, you know, when you like
that's where you're gonna be able to fly from.
When people are like, oh yeah, like God spoke to me, or like you see synchronicities, or like, you know, like things like that. That's like where that comes from. People get like weird, have like visions, you know. I think it's like why like when you like trip, it's like almost like a familiar feeling. Yeah. In a weird way, you're like going somewhere. You're like, oh, I've been here, kind of. But it's like so different and weird at the same time, and like there's like that like transcending like experience that you can have as a human. That like I think that's like what ESP is connected to, where it's like, but we're kind of like disconnected, and you know, it's like. We kind of just like we like separated ourselves from that or something. Is that?
Do you think that we were at one point connected? Is that like one of the theory? Does that tie into? What about
as far as like
what about pre-ice age? Are you talking about pre-ice age type stuff then?
Yeah. I think that's like part of like the.
Are we speaking of Atlantis?
If we're talking about like ancient, super advanced civilizations, like maybe they weren't even that advanced. It was just like that's just what people did. Where you were like, you could just like communicate almost telepathically because you were just like so in tune with each other at that point.
You know what this is, right?
What's that?
It's Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, dude. They're like.
Sam was joking about it, where it's like you save money by not having them speak at all, but it's.
Yeah.
They do, but just they like have this intense sign language and also like a mental connection.
Yeah, they just like are speaking in each other's minds, and it's like.
I get that. They're around that many crystals.
I think there's like something to that. Well, that's like why I don't know. Like I feel like everyone's had an experience where you like think of someone and then they call you. Or like,
do you think that ties right into?
It's like you know they're thinking of you, so you like and they're like before they call you, they're like I'm gonna call them, and like with that you like get like this alert in your own mind before you even like.
What were we talking about the other week with things happening at the same time and? What is the word for that?
Synchronicity?
You think that ties in with that too? Is that all part of that?
I think so.
Is that all on the same like?
I think so.
Is that all somehow it's connected?
Because if like you think of someone and like they call you, that's like a synchronicity. But it's also is just like your like extrasensory like connecting with them. I have a book on it. I gotta pull that out. And it's just like this guy. These like guys are. This is like old too. This is from like the like 60s or something.
Even better.
But it's like
they're trying to delete these kind of. Books
it's
now.
like they have like these journal entries. And they were doing this experiment where they're like, we're journaling at this time every night. Just like whatever's on your mind, you just like flow. Kind of like just like let it flow out. Just like happen, whatever. And like they'd compare notes. And it'd be like really like similar. Like they'd like think of each other kind of a thing. And like, what's he doing?
That's gotta be
like, write it down and like.
What is the Men Who Stare at Goats type stuff then? Where you're trying to.
That's
what
like
I was talking about. That.
It's like that kind of stuff too, though. It's like.
I'm trying to look at this app so I can figure out what it's called. Remote viewing type.
Yeah. It's all
viewing.
similar to that.
It all is the same.
Because that's like astral projecting, where you can like that's like remote viewing, right? I don't know.
It's all within the same. It's all within the same thing, and that also that has to do with them. That's how you would like move something without touching it.
Yeah. And like you'd like be able.
There is
that's like the mantras
just, like,
and like
There's seriously like one thing that we're missing then. Like
there's like frequencies and stuff that
you
we
can
like
connect all this into one pretty exact theory or just idea.
No, exactly. And I feel like people are getting close to it. I think people are getting close to it because like most like I don't know like organized religion. It's like people aren't like actually like getting into this. There's like a lot of people that are like I don't know. At least maybe it's a.
I think any truly organized religion,
chamber,
they're not obvious. I said obviously like 10 times on this pod. I have to think about what my actions. Any religion that is already teaching its ways is done growing its ways.
No, exactly.
So any religion that is big enough right now isn't going to be able to like properly like dig into this anymore. There are subsects. I know there's mystics.
I know
we're talking like the dark side of the Vatican, like the mystics, that stuff and all this. But that's a whole different thing. I think the way to do it is it's digging. Yeah, it's like digging through the trenches like we're doing now.
You just gotta think about it. It's like because it's coming to everyone's mind. Everyone's been thinking about this. It's becoming like more and more of like a just like a normalized thing too, where it's like there's definitely fucking something. Like I also think there's like maybe it was just the Earth's atmosphere and stuff too. Like was more like electromagnetic.
Yeah, that's where I can go in two different directions. You know? I think that basically probably Christianity and some other places. Because if we're going off of like genetic memory, Christianity is so old and so repressive in so many ways, so anciently that if we had any of these abilities, it's easily said that it could have been repressed through these religions, and our genetics wouldn't even. You wouldn't have that. We wouldn't. It would be like a sleep. It'd be like a. It would be someone. It'd be like dormatized
like over generations.
Because and it'd be so watered down too. That's where you get like the one guy that has a laugh like doing like raising a penny.
Well, that's like when every now and then someone is born just fully, with like maybe not even fully, but like partially, like there's some of their fucking genetic memories are like partially like woken up. And that's like schizophrenic.
Even people. When Jesus was like around, like if he was a real person, there was already so many years of the Old Testament, aka just like Jewish stuff, which they were also repressing. So, like every not to just cast weird shit, just every religion does that. Like so, even like in Jesus' time, everybody could have already been dormant from like earlier things, and then like he comes up with like 1% fucking telekinetic DNA, and it's like, oh, this boy's fucking dancing on water now.
Things, like multiply food,
and he just got like a little dip into
miracles and shit. It's like maybe just like every now and then, and that's like maybe with like goes back to like the Omen too, where it's like in like Dune, it's like there just is secret like breeding programs, happening where like certain things are happening just to like create that next one in certain
ways. Hell,
but I don't know. Who knows?
I must be on the outskirts of that because nothing's paying off.
I am not. Yeah. I'm not there. Not in this go.
They must have been testing some weird shit when they got into my blood.
Maybe on my next playthrough.
Yeah. More. I'm so happy that you brought it up instead of me because I didn't want to just break up this kind of worms. Just on my own. Just the whole atmosphere being somehow different in our earlier age. That's based on, I guess, like not just pollution, because that's how we see pollution as a relatively recent thing, and it definitely did a lot of damage. But I think even just the way that the Earth is, the way that it moves naturally, the way that the magnetism changes, the position of our world through moving through the universe. At all the time, I'm like thinking about how it's the classic like you're a monkey on a thing spinning through the vastness of space. But like the actual map of the universe, if you're picturing the Earth like just hurtling through that, we've never been through that part of the universe before. We talked about it before. We could be moving through some sort of cosmic cloud or some sort of on weird days, like especially even yesterday. It's like I put that more with the eclipse or whatever that was. I don't know if it was yesterday. But sometimes when I wake up feeling weird and I talk to other people and they're like, "There's something weird," and it's like it's that term. That term, it's in the air. I'm like, yeah, it's in the goddamn universe. It's in the clouds above our world. It's like something like we're moving through a cloud right now that's the size of our
waves, dude. Yeah. It's like solar storms.
Like our entire solar system is probably moving through some weird stretch of antimatter, some crazy shit, some ancient curse by an alien 10 million years ago.
Because that's the thing is like if our sun's like throwing off these solar flares and that energy is just getting blasted. It's blasting it everywhere.
Yeah.
There's like billions of other suns, too. Billions of other suns. Blasting it all over the place.
At some point, does that not just...
There's constantly shit. And then there's clouds.
All the hectic pulling and pushing of things in space, could you not... Look, we're already trying to rip open space-time here on Earth.
There could be certain things that have like clouds of a certain element, a certain thing that we just don't even understand, like a plasma.
Oh, yeah.
we just dip into that for a bit, where like
just
all of a sudden like people just kind of have like a little bit of like superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
People live 1,000 years
for just a brief period. Yeah, that's just what we hit up in the beginning a little while earlier.
Things like our perception of reality gets like changed. Like we like there's certain parts of us that like make us sense different things we weren't even perceiving in ways we couldn't even imagine.
Yeah,
or maybe that's also just like a dimensional thing.
We're talking about like
I don't know.
You know, we're talking about 1,000-year-old fuckers like Noah and his dad and all this shit. People that live until 900 in the Bible, and then it goes into things in the sky, and then that's when I bring up fucking sky jellyfish.
Yeah, man.
My tried and true thing.
It's part of it, dude. It's part of it.
It's the way because them being made out of these plasma crystals, which if you needed the lesson, go back on Pumpkin Hill Radio, TikTok. I could do a brief right now, but basically when any amount of just single grains of dust are flying through any amount of space in our atmosphere, they can fly through these basically hypermagnetized, hyper-electrified zones and become just a plasma crystal. Yeah, man. Which shows plasma in its sense. There's been studies that show that plasma can form essentially the same thing as like a brain, like brain pathways. Mm. They can. It's
like hyper. Like
they show like
conductive.
I mean the term's thrown a lot. The word fucking quantum. It's like a buzzword, but they show like quantum computing type. The way that it moves about is you see these graphs in these presentations, and it's just crazy what they can make it do and just what it looks like. And then it's just the idea of these things forming up into clusters in the fucking sky, and it's either that becomes like an upper atmospheric fucking whole biology that we don't understand. That would have been then much more present back in the day than like it's just a part of like. They probably had I guess it goes into then like either then the people back then were eating it or it was just everywhere in the air and it was just something about this that would because it's like it's like the fucking spice melange, baby.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like so that goes into like if it's like some kind of plasma and like that would create like a different type of friction in like just the space. Like if like our whole solar system just like was going through this like plasma like bubble.
Just true, that's out there. That's just
if we were just like through that for a certain amount of time, maybe that's even how like planets formed in general, and then it created this like electric like friction with like the like all the like orbits and stuff, and that created like lightning and stuff in this in like space.
I mean that like that is what happened. So it's just applying this one extra step of being like these are either these at some point these things could actually become like. Not sentient, but biological, or not in our sense, but like a plasmic being. Like everybody's heard that before to some extent. That's a true thing. That's a part of the plasmic fucking universe theory. You can look that up. That's a whole thing to jump onto. But people are trying to think about. There's all kinds of thought experiments for silicone life, plasmic life. People are theorizing things that live inside the sun. Let alone sun consciousness, which we were digging into the other.
Well, I mean, if there's stuff that lives in the fucking Hades zone.
Yeah, in
the ocean.
In the
Hadal
zone.
Hadal zone, dude.
Yeah, like why couldn't anything happen? Or below? I was like, fucking. I believe it's Arthur C. Clarke has a short story about these things that live in the rocks beneath that. Like that's like how they move, and like being up here is perceived as totally insane. The way it's written out, it's like I think anything's fucking possible.
Yeah.
But fuck. But now, like things like today, we're seeing all these like spheres and things in the sky again.
Oh yeah.
I think some of those can be accounted for. Like half of them are fucking government things.
Yeah.
Taken up from this technology, whatever this is. It could be.
It's all like
some kind of weird plasma-based technology, whatever it is. But then the other half of it is either a resurgence of these things coming up, or we're just able to sight them up with our fucking. Our crazy telescopes now. We can see shit that's 40,000 feet in the air. All these pictures of these things are literally.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 fucking football fields. Like you couldn't take a picture of it back even 20 years ago.
No.
So maybe they were always there, but I think maybe there's a resurgence, or you hear about fucking like the fucking like indigo children and shit. There's a reason that they were doing like the men who stare at goat shit in the fucking 60s. Like that remote viewing wasn't all wrong. They got some shit right.
No, they learned a lot from that, and I also think like
that's where even. MK Ultra and stuff comes through that, obviously.
No, it's all like tied together, man. You can trace it all the way back to this kind of shit.
Grossing me out.
And then like
I far down that shit waterfall. Do you want to go down that?
Well, there's like with like the eclipse and everything, like shit felt weird with the eclipse.
Yeah.
There's something going on, and I think that like some of that shit like transforms like just human perception and
it's the
consciousness.
pull of different stars and
like there's certain things like I feel like globally, even though it just like happened in like certain places, but like globally when like a tragedy or like a big thing happens, like the whole world changed after like 9/11.
There's an empathic.
There's like a different perception of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's ways that like that shit like changes your like consciousness. You like your mind gets like expanded, opens up. Because I've heard like consciousness being referred to as like an aperture on a camera, and like as it like widens, you like can perceive more. You see more. You're gonna get more light in. Like you're gonna be able to see more stars. Like
you know what? At some point though. At some point, you realize that you are something holding that camera.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're actually the beast behind the camera. You're not.
And that's like why like
right now you're just looking through a machine. Yeah.
I like whoever I forget what I was like heard. I was like,
like that. They get into that.
Dude.
Because
like
some point you just
they're talking about like how some people have like way too wide of an aperture and they're like schizophrenic. They're seeing like way too much shit.
You're seeing the different planes of existence.
Yeah, no, exactly. You're seeing like through different
psychic
dimensions.
tattoos
and, like,
left by our ancestors.
I think with like I don't know the rise of the UFO things and how it's like being like shown in the media, and just how people are like talking about it more. It's like more normalized. Like even 20 years ago, dude, talking about UFOs being like the government saying UFOs are real.
They're in It's just a sensationalist.
It would have been so
insane.
Yeah, it would have been like 20 years ago. It would have been crazy. That would have been like you're fucking. Nuts.
Well, and just now,
even
a few 2 years ago, the government finally did the thing where you can just people work like. Soldiers and shit couldn't
they could
post
finally
shit
talk about it
without being discharged and said we're insane. So that's why we're getting so much now.
No, yeah, and
you
then
go
like,
on, like
the more people see it, the more normalized it gets, and like it gets more intense. Mm-hmm. Like we just start seeing. I don't know. We're just gonna start seeing more. It's just like ramping up. It's getting weirder and weirder, and I don't know. I just feel like it like opens your aperture a little bit when you like realize because like you don't really. There's like experiments done where like. There's like cultures that don't have like a word for the color blue, so they show them like
I believe
they show them like a ring of green things, like green colors, like squares, green squares. But one of them's blue, and they're like, yeah, they're all the same. And then they're like, dude, this is the blue one, and then they see it's different. Then like all of a sudden they're like, whoa, what?
I believe it's Greece, either Greece or Rome. Yeah. All the water is depicted as red.
Yeah,
they saw the blood. It was like a wine red ocean.
Yeah.
Because it's all perception.
Yeah.
Literally all.
Yeah, they just didn't have a word for blue.
It's fucked up.
And then like,
well, and
there's like things too, like
talk
the way
about perception and words. It spells words out. Like we like talk about words and spelling and all that. It's like spelling almost every culture that didn't like Christianity introduced the idea of good and evil and like what a demon would be to like almost every. I think I've talked about it. Like any like African culture, all these Eastern religions that didn't have a sense of. There's not like a hell. It's not always like that. Even the idea of in Norse stuff like Helheim isn't that's not what hell like. That doesn't mean it's hell. It's literally
Hades.
It's
also
one of 9
like,
fucking realms. It's its
Hades
own place.
Isn't like a. It's not like a hell. It's just like the underworld.
Yeah, it's a
like
place
where
for,
you go when you die.
Yeah,
this is where like the dead.
It's
reside.
not a place where like evil and like it's the afterlife. It's
just the afterlife
because
it's where the dead.
Because
reside.
in a lot of religions,
like
the place that like Christians would think of as heaven is almost like fucking. That's reserved for like the god. Like that's for like Like, that's like Mount Olympus type shit.
Yeah,
like, that's like where the gods sit.
No, exactly.
And it's funny, like in Christianity, you're like, you can go up there now, bud.
Yeah, like Christ died for you.
If I go up there, Zeus is gonna punch me in the fucking face.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, that goes into like why Jesus was sacrificed.
Yeah.
You know, he sacrificed himself so like people can fucking get up there now. But it's like I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You could like tie that in if you want. I could connect all these dots. I could fucking. They're all just metaphors for some fucking weird shit.
So you tell me that's how sharks smell?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how sharks smell. Oh, man. Fucking, it's basically ESP and fucking it goes back to fucking the gods, man. And then it goes back to the gods. It all goes back to the gods.
Did I have any other wake up ideas written down? Not really.
I thought I had an idea, but I don't think I remember it anymore.
I got.
It was a dumb thought.
The little graphic I did, the I Still Miss You, the missing though picture right there. There was a deal on Sacred Mule, so I got 50 buttons of that made.
That's
nice. Same size, like classic like metal button. Fucking should be pretty rad. Give those out to punks. Put them on their punk shirts. Everybody likes to get missing though. I don't have those stickers up on Etsy as their own thing, but every order I just throw one of those in there.
They're cool.
Give them out right now.
They're fucking cool, man.
That's that one thing. I'm also trying to work on one of the stories. That's this story.
Yeah,
It's about like a person working out at like a nursing, like a weird facility, basically this weird like nursing home thing. But the like out like the shirts they wear, their little like outfits are just like it's a super elite graphic, but it's just like it's just described as like being from the 80s. And it's like kind of ambiguous as what that actually means, but I kind of want to design like an 80s like weird like shirt and just like have
like windbreaker, like
just like a
like bomber jacket or something, you know.
Just have it kind of like laced up like that somehow, just make that look cool. Oh fuck! Like speak of the devil, my
needs a ride.
My wife needs a ride.
Yeah, dude, I need to buy a new computer. And, I'm gonna do that soon.
Yeah, and we're at. But we just popped fucking 47 more minutes down. I think we're good. Yeah, this will go up. I don't know. I want to figure out how this goes. If we can actually, if like every third time I bring you over here, we just pop off 2 hours, no problem. I'm wondering if that becomes a separate show. I also put on the main feed, no payment, twice, like once every other week, just to have extra content out there right away. Good. And then we just, I don't know, and then other stuff just fills in. I'm just figuring it out.
Yeah, man.
What I was saying earlier, I'm just trying to figure out like the right pod streamer for me right now, like for the brand. I can talk to you about that more off air now that you're official fucking co-host.